Hi, I'm April Rose.
And I'm Rick DeBrule.
And at the 2025 Barrett-Jackson Scottsdale Fall Auction, the Bowtie brand Chevrolet secured top sales with iconic models like Corvettes, Camaros, and Blazers.
The highlight of the event, though, was a charitable sale of a 2022 Chevy Camaro. It's an SS Pace car.
How about that? That gentleman, a very frequent participant in Barrett-Jackson charity auctions, and he's just donated $150,000 to the American Cancer Society, and he'll take that cool Camaro home.
And it raised $150,000 for the American Cancer Society.
And another exciting moment came when this 1988 Corvette 35th Anniversary Edition sold twice.
Another $110,000. Wait a minute.
He said resell it.
I think they're saying they're going to resell it again. So $110,000. $90,000, a combined sale of $200,000, every penny of which will go to the American Heart Association, helping a great cause. And that gentleman up there made a difference in a lot of people's lives today.
For a total of $200,000, with 100% of the hammer price benefiting the American Heart Association.
So let's take a look at the highest selling Chevrolets presented by Meguiar's at the world's greatest collector car auction.
Coming in at number 10, the 1955 Nomad Custom Wagon.
Yeah, this one's powered by a GM crate engine, 350 cubic inch, 350 horsepower, paired to a 4-speed automatic transmission. It had a complete frame-off restoration.
It was a 5-year build, completed in March of 2025, has 4-wheel disc brakes and custom Boyd Coddington wheels.
50 to bid, 50 to about 50, 150, 60, now 65, 60, at 65, 70, now $170,000 all through, all done, $170,000 down, 70 to bid, 70 to buy, now 7, is that what you got? $167, $170,000 all through, and I have sold $167,000.
Time for number 9, a 1963 Corvette. It's a 327, 360 horsepower. It's a split window Fuelie.
It's powered by a date code correct L84 fuel injected engine with that 4-speed manual transmission.
Yeah, just a 1-year only body style. This one was professionally frame-off restored in 2014.
So this is the highest horsepower. I've driven cars with this engine. Very, very tractable, very smooth performance delivery. Very unlike a 4-barrel carburetor that starts out on the front 2 barrels and then the back 2 barrels kick in with a big kick in the butt. So 21,500 Corvettes produced for 1963. Only about 12% of those had the Rochester fuel injection.
And the Fuelie's got you a big bump in power, 360 horsepower in 1963, which is pretty impressive. 4-speed manual transmission on this one, and 53,000 actual miles on the odometer, but restored about 10 years ago to a very high degree.
So the full wheel covers are standard, and the tires are a reproduction of the original style, which I believe were 775 14s. Look how narrow they are compared to the tread that today's supercar tires put down, but this was what you got in 1963.
180.
Well, take note. This is how it left the factory in 1963, and a little bit later today, we're going to see the Jeff Hayes 1963 with all of his custom touches, but still.
Congratulations, you got it for $180,000.
At number 8, 1955 3100 Custom Pickup.
Yeah, powered by a 6-liter V8 engine from a 2006 Cadillac Escalade. It's got a factory-tuned ECU.
And it features that Ford 9-inch rear end, airbag suspension, Willwood brakes, and custom PPG paint finish.
175, I'm at a 5, I'm at a 5, hammers high, I'm a 5, I'm at 175, you want 2, I'm at a 5. 2 and 5, pat it up on 5, 5, now 7, I'm at a now 7, I'm at a now 5, I'm at a 7, I'm at a now 7, 7, 7, pat it up, now 80, I'm at a 180, I'm at a 180, hammer high, I'm a 180, down hand die. Got it, now 2, 182, 182, 182, 182, 182, 182, and die. Sold it, sold it, sold it, 180,000.
Moving on to number 7, a 1962 Corvette Custom Convertible.
This one's got a hot cam 6.2 LS3 V8 with Magnum 6-speed manual transmission.
It's also got a Dana 44 rear end with 411 gears and power brakes.
Yeah, beautifully done. This one, a 1962, so the last year of the C1 Corvette, but they backdated it to add all the chrome. All this was gone in 1962, but they wanted this to have the gingerbread of the earlier ones from the late 50s with this modern color scheme.
Yes, this has the contrasting color coves, which were not available from the factory in '62. And this is titled as a 62 Chevrolet Special Construction rather than being titled as a Corvette. Not really sure how all that came to be, but what a beautiful build.
Yeah, upgraded LS3 under the hood, so the modern Corvette engine, but a 6-speed manual so you can row your own gears. So I definitely like that. But the suspension all sourced from a C4 Corvette, so a lot of stuff borrowed from future Corvettes in the C1.
And that is why it's titled as a special construction, because when a car does not retain its original frame, what is its DNA other than the little VIN tag that is riveted to that frame? So that explains the mystery. Nicely done.
Well, and it's nicely moving forward fast. Just a moment ago it was around 100,000. Now we're at 140.
A lot of money, but even so, could you build it for this? I think that would be a tall order.
Well, it is now the #1 sale of the auction so far, and it's still going.
This is just an appetizer for the Jeff Hayes Corvette that's coming. It's built to an even higher level.
$180,000 and a kiss for that 1962 Corvette Custom.
Number 6, we got a 1971 Chevelle Custom.
Yeah, rotisserie built with a custom-built LS engine, 4-speed automatic transmission, power steering, Willwood power brakes as well.
And has custom suspension, wheels, tires, interior, paint, and sound system.
This one's also been dip painted, and it's had a little radiator air exit added there in front of the cowl induction hood. TMI interior added. Nice big wide center console, rally gauges. Sharp presentation. No chrome, none to be seen here.
Right, all the trim or the bumpers, everything is either painted or blacked out or just bare sort of metal finish. And definitely works, I think, with the rear bumper where that would have been all chrome with the taillights put in there, but instead it's body color. It looks right to me.
I like it. You know, I would have had fun adding a third taillight to each side, but it's just me. Living in the past again, I know.
Heresy on not putting it on an Impala or a Bel Air or the top-of-the-line trim. Those men on 200's been stuck at 190 for a while. I have a feeling that's where we may end up unless they can find one more bidder. You see the bidder assistant talking to that gentleman in the skybox, wanting to know, does he want to go up one more notch?
Willwood brakes and those Forge Line forged wheels at all four corners. Couple $1,000s each. Wow, a lot to look at and a lot to enjoy here.
$190,000 for that 1971 Chevelle. No expense spared in the rotisserie build, according to the consignor. Before we get to number 5, make sure you like and subscribe down below because you really want to see more of these. I know you do. All right, halfway through our list. This one is a 1972 K5 Blazer Custom.
This is a fresh build by Rock Bottom Off-Road and is powered by a 525 horsepower GM Performance 6.2-liter V8 with automatic transmission and Atlas transfer case.
Yeah, it's also got upgraded suspension, brakes, custom interior, vintage air, and less than 1,000 miles since it was completed.
Well, we can take a look at the chassis cam, see if this is nice underneath. I'm sure it is. We'll take a look. That looks like a modern LS engine under there with the dual exhaust going back with a nicely painted drive shaft. You can see that upgraded suspension as well, the modern coilovers with that long travel suspension and upgraded axles as well. So nothing 1970 or 72 underneath except for the frame itself.
Now this one has neither a style bar nor a roll bar. It's got a full roll cage inside with the down tubes right up there near the dash, big main hoop before the driver, and the protection goes all the way back. And look at all of those stir-it-yourself shifters to get this thing down the road.
Yeah, I wonder if some of that has to do with the four-wheel drive transfer case, but it still looks like it has the manual hub screw. You get out and lock them in yourself, not automatic, which much more reliable. But you can see that rear end there, since it's up so high in the air with a modern suspension, that modern rear end there. And it looks like some extra stuff to help with stability as far as anti-roll bars and things, which is great since it's up so high. Wow, 200, speaking of high.
I was going to say, the great bidding going on. That gentleman on the block has a phone in his ear. He's talking to somebody who's apparently bidding. Up in the skybox, we've also got somebody who's in it. They're at $205,000. 212,000 for that 1972 Chevy K5 Blazer Custom, 525 horsepower from that LS3 V8 engine, and that is now the #3 sale of the day.
Coming in at number 4, 1970 Chevelle Custom Convertible.
It's got a supercharged LT4 V8 engine and a 10-speed automatic transmission and a 4 9-inch rear end.
It features Ride-Tech air suspension, Willwood brakes, power windows, and that beautiful custom leather interior.
And it's absolutely unreal. The power, the modern chassis underneath, the braking, everything's perfect.
Well, it's described as pastel blue over oyster. They have added a lot of sheet metal here to the interior. What I like is what you don't see. There's no piping, there's no wiring, there's no accessories to be visible at all under the hood. Just this beautiful engine and the brake master cylinder and brake booster. Wow.
And the blue and oyster continues into the interior as well, including sort of a blue hexagon sort of stitching in the seats. It's just the details that send these over the top, and then we see, yeah, here we are, $250,000.
$250,000, meaning that is now tied as the number 4 sale of the auction. And those folks up at the skybox are just ecstatic that they came away with that for very good reasons. That is a spectacular piece of machinery. Moving into our top 3, how about a 1970 Chevelle Custom?
This one's got that twin-turbo LS3 V8 with a 6-speed manual transmission.
And it's complete with a custom G-Comp chassis, C7 Corvette suspension, and custom rims.
And $260,000 down, but to get all through, all done. And $260,000 down, but to get down, $260,000 and a half. Sold for $250,000. Done.
Number 2, 1957 Corvette Custom Convertible.
Yeah, body off restoration, powered by a GM LS1 all-aluminum V8 engine, backed by a 4-speed automatic transmission and a 9-inch Ford rear end.
Features power rack and pinion steering with tubular A-arms, coilovers, 4-link, and 6-piston big brakes.
I'm at 235. I'm at 235 and I'm on 5 and 235. Now 40. I'm at 240 and now 5. I'm at 245. I'm at 5 and I'm on 5. 245. I'm at 5 and I'm on 5. Now 50. And right beside her, I'm at 55. 255. I'm at 250. 47. 55. Now 60. I'm at now 60. I'm at now 5. What do you want to do now? 165. Down here, that'll compare now 55 and 265, 270. I'm gonna get 265, 270. I'm gonna compare, yes ma'am. 260's on the phone, you gotta be 5. I'm at 265, yes sir. 265 on the phone, now 70. I'm at now $70,000 bottom here. I'm at now popping up on 70. I'm at 265, 70, hammers high. Put your hands together, Scottsdale. I'm at now popping up on 70. I'm at now popping to 70 and I sold it. 265,000. Laura.
All right, time for number one, the top Chevrolet sale from the fall Barrett-Jackson auction in Scottsdale. Not a big surprise. Turned out to be a 1963 Corvette Custom split window coupe.
Yeah, this one was built by Jeff Hayes Customs. It's powered by that 500 horsepower LS3 hot cam V8 hooked up to an automatic transmission.
It's got Eddy Motorsport components, Z06 wheels, autometer gauges, and a power hood.
Well, over the last couple of years, Jeff Hayes has emerged as the preeminent Corvette restorer and modifier and resto mod builder. His attention to detail is unsurpassed, and his cars shoot the moon here at Barrett-Jackson.
Yeah, it's all in the details, because you can get a custom chassis, you can get an LS engine, but to make the LS engine look this beautiful as far as everything machine finished, the intakes custom welded there, and a custom chassis underneath to make this thing ride amazing. Actually got to go for a ride with April Rose driving, and there's nothing like it, just incredible.
The attention to detail is evident inside as well as out. I'd love to show you this dashboard and the gauges. They gleam all by themselves. Just look at the finish and the fit and the intention that's been paid even to the numbers there. Wow, that is just gorgeous.
You know, the thing about Jeff Hayes is, number one, he specializes in Corvettes, but number two, he's been doing it for quite some time. So over the years, he has perfected what he does. And this goes back to 2017, and the cars that we'll see, he's got 2 of them coming up in January, really take it even to a higher level.
The 63 Corvette was one of the very first cars to carry the door line up into the roof like this, instead of just ending at the window. Made for a little quieter ride going down the road. But this car's making a lot of noise on the block.
Congratulations, you got it for $300,000.
$300,000 for that 1963 Corvette.
Thanks for checking out our top 10 Chevrolets presented by Meguiar's from Barrett-Jackson's 2025 Scottsdale Fall Auction.
Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe down below, because otherwise they're not going to let us out of here.